Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. In this week's top stories, on conclusion of the winter relief distribution in Hebei's Dawu County, volunteers visited those who were unable to receive the aid in person. We visit an organic farm in Jilin, China, started by volunteer Li Jinrong and run together with her counterparts. Lastly, we join volunteers in Kuala Lumpur and Malacca of Malaysia as they canvass for donations to help flood victims along the eastern shore. For the third consecutive year, Tzu Chi held a winter relief distribution in Dawu County of China's Hebei province. This time around, some 1,200 families received Tzu Chi's aid. For those who couldn't make it to the event, volunteers personally delivered the supplies to their doorsteps. But first, we go to the distribution point at Yuwang High School of Luwang Township, where one of Daai TV's reporters had the chance to get in on the action.
At Tzu Chi's winter relief distribution in Dawu County of China's Hebei province, a new hand joins the fray.
Already my back is aching. This is because I don't do enough normally. Today I think all my hard work will be worthwhile because I will get to see the happy faces of the care recipients. And when I get back, I will have a nice meal to eat. So it's all worth it.
Other volunteers bond with the aid recipients through holding hands. Also present are medical volunteers who utilize their expertise to help those in need. Here, everyone is family. This time around, Tzu Chi helped 1,200 families, or some 1,700 people, get through the winter a little bit easier. Excited, many of them joined in song and dance, while some helped maintain the orderliness of the venue.
I tell everyone I see not to use one-time use paper cups because when they litter, others will have to pick up after them. Then I see that there are these reusable cups here, so I tell people to use these instead and to stop littering.
This is the third year that Tzu Chi has held a winter relief distribution here. And just like in years past, everyone leaves with happiness and love in their heart.
你早上把爷爷把物资拿过来了没有？拿过来了。我们试一下那个新衣服合不合身啊？
At Liuhe Village, the mayor, Liu Zekuo, is visiting 89-year-old Liu Huaishou with Tzu Chi volunteers.
哇，帅不帅？
A medical volunteer also chats with the grandpa to better understand his health condition.
Perhaps just one kind of medication is not enough for him. He should see a doctor again and get more.
平常皮肤过敏啊，怪呀，有过敏。
平常皮肤过敏是吧？对什么东西过敏呢？
Next, the group visits 52-year-old Liu Shifa, who lost his ability to work after developing severe scoliosis 15 years ago. However, he has kept his home clean and tidy despite living alone. The only thing on his mind is his daughter, who is working in Guangdong. Thus, Tzu Chi volunteers decided to help.
Hi, we are at your home. Your father said he hasn't talked to you for a very long time.
Once his daughter is on the line, Liu can't help but start nagging.
人始终都忘记，还在忘记。
忘记了。
Helping put the worrying father at ease, Tzu Chi volunteers gift him with a volume of Jin's aphorisms. After learning, the daughter will be home in a month.
哎，每天把上面选一句给他听。
对，好。
Hoping the wisdom of the aphorisms will play their part, the volunteers depart, wishing for the best for all residents.
Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers in Xiamen held a winter aid distribution in Haicang District for 937 impoverished families. Among those volunteering at the event was Tzu Chi care recipient Wu Huamei, who was looking to reciprocate the love and care she has received from the volunteers in the past. After the distribution ended, she even tagged along with the volunteers to visit other care recipients who needed a bit of cheering up.
Getting an early start to the day, Tzu Chi volunteers in Xiamen are holding a winter aid distribution at the Cultural Center of Haicang District in China. After receiving her aid items for this winter, care recipient Wu Huamei happily joins the volunteers in packing relief items.
既来当乡亲又来当志工，好不好？有没有很幸福？
当然
啊，
是有。
2015年的开春就很幸福，对不对？
对。
Though Wu Huamei has difficulty moving about, her heart to help has not been affected.
无形当中有一
While helping others, I seem to gain strength, and that inspires me to try to push myself even more. I also hope to spread this strength on behalf of more people out there.
能量能够传递到更多的人。
Taking her positivity on the road, Wu Huamei tagged along with the volunteers as they started their home visitations.
I've had a tumor on my leg for the past 2 years. Last year, I finally amputated my left leg. In the beginning, I was very depressed. However, with the friendship of the Tzu Chi volunteers and my community volunteers, I got through it.
Expressing the same beautiful mind is Cai Jilin, who reciprocates his gratitude by donating his love into his bamboo coin bank.
你倒落的时候拢安怎想？
$100 can help, $1 can help, even 1 penny can help when accumulated. It doesn't have to be much in order to help someone in need, right?
Every year, Cai Jilin looks forward to the volunteers' visit. He has also saved the letters that Master Zhen Yan composes each year for recipients.
I've saved these letters because they mean a lot to me. Your love and care is my saving grace. Tzu
Chi's love and care for their care recipients isn't a fleeting thought, but a solid friendship that grows stronger as time goes on.
On the second day of the distribution in Xiamen, volunteers mobilized over 1,000 people who split up into 13 teams to bring aid and care to 2,400 poor families in communities throughout the area.
84-year-old Chen Xiuying waits for her turn to pick up her winter supplies in 9-degree weather. Seeing her chapped hands, volunteers bring a bit of love.
今年40啊，嘿，做你的孙差不多吧？差不多哈，嘿啊，所以讲你嘛是我的阿嬷。
On the second day of the distribution, volunteers both young and old break into groups to bring their love and care to over a dozen communities throughout Xiamen.
Today, we are going to do good deeds and help people. That makes me happy. Right.
78-year-old Grandma Yu comes alone to pick up her aid. Seeing she has no one to help her carry the heavy supplies, volunteers accompany her home and fill a cold, empty hearth with warmth.
阮你对台湾来啦，嘿啊，对哦，来甲你祝福啦，对啊，甲你祝福，互你健康快乐。
While this grandfather continues to treasure the jacket given to him so many years ago by Tzu Chi. Volunteers next head to Gulangyu by boat. Once there, they hold tea gatherings in communities to bring residents and Tzu Chi closer together.
It is great that you can come visit us like this. Such events help bring you closer to our residents. Although the supplies they have to carry home are considerable, they don't feel heavy to them as they are filled with gratitude.
Walking into communities as part of this year's aid distribution in Xiamen, volunteers are not only bringing help to where help is needed, but making plenty of friends along the way.
In Jiangsu Province's Siyang County, volunteers brought care to the region's poor, sick, and needy over the space of 2 days. Let's now take a look at some of the moving scenes which transpired from the recently completed distribution. After being sick for 3 days, volunteer Li Chang took a 12-hour train ride to the distribution venue in Siyang County.
Seeing everyone work so hard together, this has really been a blessing. Our physical strength is limited, but that joy within is where we can find our true strength. Tzu Chi is not like ordinary organizations or company, which teach their employees what to do and how to do it. Tzu Chi's members come from all over the world, and we often don't have that much time to rehearse our roles before we have to split up and carry them out. Sometimes it is not easy.
In our next report, we travel to Jilin province to meet Tzu Chi volunteer Li Jinrong of Changchun City. A few years ago, Li moved away from her home in the city to Mount Dading to start an organic farm. By farming organically, Li says she has learned to put her worries behind her and embrace a more frugal lifestyle.
Right now, I'm at Mount Dading in Changchun City. During the winter, the mountain peaks is always covered in snow. This is also where local Tzu Chi volunteers grow organic vegetables. A brick house with a barn is where Tzu Chi volunteer Li Jinrong calls home. A few years ago, Li moved to Mount Dading after her home in the city was burnt to ashes. Since then, she has been farming organically here.
I think this is the way to live. I believe a person will be healthier if he or she lives a happy life and doesn't have to worry about anything.
This snow-covered farm field is where Li Jinrong grows organic vegetables. It is also the only field in the area that doesn't use fertilizers.
We want to encourage local residents to protect the land.
After visiting the organic farm, Tzu Chi volunteers have gained a better understanding of the relationship between humans and the earth.
We have slowly realized the meaning of the phrase, purity begins at the source. This place is not only filled with Dharma, but also love for the planet.
Without any crops to harvest during the winter months, where does Li get her food? In fact, she has a storage pit full of vegetables. To prevent her vegetables from spoiling, Li Jinrong stores all of them inside this pit and then covers them in snow. All her grains are stored in a different room which has a threshing machine. Li, who lives a frugal lifestyle, says all she thinks about now is shouldering Tzu Chi's missions. Cooking simply, Ling brings out the sweetness and natural flavor of her organically grown vegetables. At this moment, everyone's heart and stomach is filled with love and warmth.
Recently, team of volunteers returned to Vietnam to hold a free clinic for the residents of Thanh Ninh province. Over the course of the clinic, volunteers did their best to bring hope and care to the hundreds who simply have not been able to seek medical attention until this day. With their supplies packed, team of volunteers arrived a day early to prepare and clean the elementary school that will serve as the venue for tomorrow's free community clinic. On the day of the clinic, volunteers from Ho Chi Minh City set off at 5 in the morning. Arriving at their destination, they find the waiting area already packed with those who have come to seek medical attention.
I'm old and so my body is weak. I can't get out to buy vegetables. It is now my neighbors that look after me. Whatever they give me is what I eat.
You should eat frequent small meals. First vegetables and then the rice. Your blood sugar is too high. You shouldn't eat too many starches.
With volunteers at her side throughout the clinic, the grandmother is touched by the family-like atmosphere she has found here.
I have a child, but he doesn't take care of me. Coming to the clinic today, it has been the volunteers who have looked after me and helped push my wheelchair. Your care really makes me want to cry. I hope all of you stay healthy and can continue to look after others.
Here in Tay Ninh province, most residents are older and often face the ravages of poverty and advancing age alone. For first-time Tima doctors, it was a heartbreaking sight.
The conditions they live in are not ideal. Many suffer from serious illness, but have no money to seek medical attention. Tzu Chi has given them so much hope. I hope I will be able to participate in future clinics.
Overall, 45 Tima and 145 Tzu Chi volunteers work together to bring care to over 581 patients.
Every time I attend these free clinics, I leave happy. Although our responsibilities are tiring, our hearts are filled with a contentment that is hard to describe.
Once again, Tima is doing its best to bring care and love to those who need it most. To help flood survivors on the eastern shore of the Malaysian peninsula, Tzu Chi volunteers and others mobilized to canvass for donations in and around Kuala Lumpur and Malacca. From mom-and-pop stores to shopping centers, customers were very generous upon learning of the volunteers' cause. As well, those mobilized to seek donations ranged from hospital patients to Malaysian celebrities. Here's more on our story.
As one of the largest shopping centers in the world, Wan Yutama is the perfect place for Tzu Chi volunteers to canvass for donations for flood survivors.
The happiness received from helping someone is unlike anything else I've ever known.
Among those helping to canvass for donations is a cancer patient and a Tima doctor.
Although she has cancer, she's still out here helping. I should be able to do more than her.
I still have the strength in me to contribute my share. I can still do good deeds, so I'll do as much as I can while I can. I don't have much time left. I don't know what lies in wait for me tomorrow.
At another shopping mall, Malaysian celebrities also volunteer their time and star power in the quest for donations. But it wasn't easy taking the first step.
I was a bit embarrassed at first because I've never tried this before. But a volunteer told me we are giving others the opportunity to commit an act of kindness. That's why I'm no longer ashamed of asking for donations.
Remembering to bow and say thank you, this celebrity was moved by how many people found it in their heart to give.
I saw that he sold cookies. When he opened up his money bag, which was a plastic bag, it didn't contain much money, but he still donated $5. At that moment, tears welled up in my eyes. I was really touched by his gesture.
Together, Malaysians are standing united in helping flood survivors get back on their feet. Preparing food for the day, Deng Huiyan and her husband are not conducting business for profit today, but instead are holding a charity sale.
With the sign saying it's to help the flood survivors and then wearing the uniform, it feels like the smiles are friendlier.
The Tzu Chi volunteer husband and wife pair has seen the scope of the flood damages firsthand and thus decided to do something for the survivors.
Seeing the devastation, I felt really helpless. If this disaster had happened to me, I would feel terrible about the whole thing.
Meanwhile, in Malacca, at this shop selling coconut milkshakes, Tzu Chi volunteers and their donation boxes were also well received by the customers in line.
I can give money as I don't have the ability to help otherwise. I am already in my 70s.
They really need assistance. I just returned from there.
It was the shop owner who personally invited the volunteers to come and even told them when the best time was.
Saturdays and Sundays, the crowd are larger. So you'll be able to get a bit more, I hope, for the collection.
I'm really happy because I can see that the shop owner really wanted to help us. Her support is such an encouragement for us.
Inspiring everyone's heart of kindness for flood survivors, the road to recovery, though long, is no longer hard to bear.
Last year, Indonesia's Tangerang faced several months of drought. In response, Tzu Chi visited the hardest hit villages with aid and food. This year, volunteers are back again, only this time to hold a year-end blessing ceremony in the village of Sukamana. Over 200 residents attended the event, during which they not only prayed for peace in the new year, but also brought home their filled bamboo banks as a way to pass on the love.
Here in the village of Sukamanan of Indonesia's Tangerang, Tzu Chi volunteers have returned, this time not to bring aid, but to hold a year-end blessing ceremony on behalf of its residents. A move that has been embraced and joined by many.
Tzu Chi is like our family. Being with the volunteers makes me happy. Spiritually, I feel very content.
I'm so thankful for the Tzu Chi family and its humanitarianism. I have learned a lot, especially when it comes to doing good deeds. This has gone a long way to improving my own family's relationships.
Last October, this area was hit by a 6-month-long drought. There to help was Tzu Chi's life-saving rice. Today, many of those same residents are here to donate their filled bamboo coin bank in gratitude for that help.
Although we come from different places, we are all Indonesians. You helped us in the past, now we are donating to help others. Thank you so much for your help. I want to do all I can to help others.
Here in this factory, Tzu Chi's bamboo coin bank has found a home, with the company's over 100 employees donating what they can.
Our donations in turn help Tzu Chi carry out charitable works. Although my salary is not high, I can still donate what I can afford and contribute to society.
We will save a little bit of our salary every month to donate to the bamboo banks. This not only helps cultivate a good habit of saving, but can also help others.
Regardless of whom or where, to give is to be blessed. For it is not the amount that matters, but the heart behind it.
We go to Singapore at the end of today's program. Ms. Xie, who was once a Tzu Chi care recipient, is missing all of her teeth. After a doctor's diagnosis, it was decided that she needed dental implants. As Xie is tied up to tending to her mentally disabled son most of the time, Tima Dr. Deng Guorong thoughtfully set up appointments at his clinic according to her schedule. And after 8 sessions, Xie's dental implants were finally complete. We leave you with these images at the end of our show. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant weekend.